This is Dr. Abirami from the Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science, Cybersecurity. This session is going to be on CIA Triad. The CIA Triad. The CIA stands for confidentiality, integrity, and availability. The confidentiality ensures that no unauthorized access is given to any unauthorized persons. So we maintain the data confidentiality by restricting the access to unauthorized persons or users. Next is integrity. The users or any person who is accessing the data over the internet doesn't have any authorization to modify the data or alter the data. So the data is being kept intact, as well as the integrity of that particular data transmitted over the internet is safe. Next is availability. The resources which are required during any transmission of data or accessing of data over the internet should be accessible whenever needed. So the resources are to be accessible when needed, called as availability. These three are most essential components to maintain the cyber security over data transmitted. So when I talk about confidentiality, where we are going to have only the authorized persons having an access to the sensitive information, how we are going to implement it? Implementation of this confidentiality is done through authentication, where we are going to have the protection of our data through passwords or biometrics given to the individuals. Only the authorized person can access it. And encryption, where the process of converting an information into a secret code, which we also call it as a ciphertext. The data transmitted has been. The next is encryption. The encryption is a process of converting an information into a secret code, which we call it as a ciphertext. The ciphertext is a text where we are going to have the encrypted form of the message to be conveyed or passed over the internet. So the network carries the ciphertext, and at the receiver end it will be decoded. This is called as decryption. So confidentiality can be maintained through encryption method also. The next one is access control list. A set of rules has been formed to make sure who can access what type of a resource. This list has been maintained to make sure like the data is not being accessed or the data is not being handled by any unauthorized access person. So access control list maintains it. To ensure the confidentiality, we need to maintain or have some techniques. So what are the techniques that we have here to ensure the confidentiality? First one is role-based access control. The users who has an access to what type of a resource or to what type of data can alone access it. The users only have an access to what is needed for them. The next one is virtual private networks, which is also a very secure internet channel through which we can have our data being transmitted. The third one is data classification, where the data are being labeled based on the data sensitivity. So we ensure that the type of a data required is alone given, which will be enabled using this labeling method. Integrity. So we have to maintain data which has to remain accurate, consistent, and it should be trustworthiness. To prevent an unauthorized modification of the data or information that has been passed, we have to have the integrity of data. Some examples or techniques through which we are implementing this integrity includes digital signature, where we are verifying the authenticity and integrity of the digital information that has been passed. Second is hash value method, where we have unique fixed size strings of characters generated by a cryptographic hash function. The third method is checksum, the sum of the correct digits in a piece of data which has been transmitted as digital data. The techniques which you use here to ensure the integrity includes audit trails, where the audit trails includes the logs that are being recorded on the system based on the activity done by a user. So every user working will have their own individual unique log ID through which the logged in person details the type of activity they have done over the internet can be audited. Regular auditing is needed in order to have a data integrity. The next is access restriction, where we are going to prevent any unauthorized editing of the data. So we restrict using the list which is going to have a control list prepared to ensure that there is a control emphasized on individuals depending on their role played in that particular information. Thank you.